Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing the new miniseries from FX on Hulu, A Teacher. So A Teacher is the story of a young teacher who is new in her high school, and she ends up getting in a very scandalous relationship with a student. And the show really dives into the different factors that lead to an event like this happening. I will say right off the bat, when I went in to watch the show, I did think this was kind of a weird topic to make a show about, and I didn't know how they would handle it, if it would maybe romanticize or kind of glamorize something that's really not right in any way, shape, or form. But they do handle it in a pretty decent way. Even in the beginning and end of the episodes, they have like some cards telling you if you're someone who's dealt with something like this to get help, or there's going to be scenes of grooming and things like that, man, comfortable to watch. So I'm glad that they did that, because it's hard to make a show like this without making it kind of graphic in a way for people that may have went through something like this. That being said, I do not think that it romanticizes this by any way, but there are moments, like anything that deals with this material, when you are kind of shown a light of why someone would act this way or someone would do this thing. Kate Mara, who plays the teacher, has a really difficult home life in a way with her boyfriend. They kind of are fighting all the time, and she meets this young student who's so nice to her, and they get along so well. And you know, they try to play you along in a way that maybe makes it like a romantic tale between the two, but at the end, you do know that this is a wrong relationship, obviously. But then as you see it move on, you see her character start to change a little bit. The first 3 episodes are all that are up right now, and I do like how it handles her progression and her involvement in this relationship. In the beginning, it is somewhat innocent in a lot of ways, and as it moves along, you see her character shift. You see her own personal struggle coming to the forefront and why she's kind of taking this turn to the darker aspects of this relationship. And I think it has a lot to do with Kate Mara's acting. I think she's the standout in the show in particular. And that's not to say that Nick Robinson, who you may know from Love, Simon, who plays Eric in the film, doesn't have a pretty solid performance as well. I just think that Kate Mara is a little bit better. And the one saving grace that this show does have, I guess, in a way, is that he is 18 years old. You obviously have a very irresponsible power dynamic between a student and a teacher, and by no means is that appropriate in any way, but at least it's not a show trying to glamorize or justify pedophilia or something like that. But it is interesting the show decides to take the time to explain how these inappropriate relationships come to be, and it doesn't try to just justify it in a lot of ways. It kind of shows the causal factors, and maybe someone who would want to see these things or understand how grooming can happen even if you don't realize that it's happening. So I do think the acting is well done. I do think the story also moves along at a very quick pace. Like I said, only the first 3 episodes are out right now, but they move at they're only 30 minutes long. It moves very, very quickly. So they're moving between the story very fast. I do also think that the pacing works really well. You build a lot of tension, because just while there's tension between the characters, you know where it's going, you know where it's heading, and you kind of see the pieces falling a line as it goes along. The series was actually created by Hannah Hiddell, who made a film of the exact same name a few years ago, and I haven't seen the film, so I can't really mark on anything like that, but I do think that it was handled with some care by Hulu. They obviously are trying to not have it end up like a 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, where people have a lot of backlash to what's happening on screen. I do think you're still going to get that, because there are some very clunky moments when it comes to handling this kind of material, but overall I think they handled it with care as far as I've seen. As far as the actual show-making aspects of the show, I think it was actually pretty well created. There's some solid writing that goes into the show. Also, I think that the cinematography at times is pretty well done. There's a lot of shots where people are imagining things and it's jumping back and forth. There's also some shots where you have, a cell phone conversation on screen with a normal conversation, and you get a blending of the two. There's also a scene involving a party where he's filming and you're seeing the film from his phone while he's walking. So I thought that was interesting. They try to do those aspects. I also think that the score was really well done. I was really surprised. The show does have a lot of mid-2000s hip-hop, because it's supposed to take place 2013, 2014, in that range there. But there's some really good score that goes into the scenes where the characters are struggling with their internal battles of knowing, this is not correct, this is wrong, and it's just pretty well done. Overall, it's pretty well created as a show. So those are my thoughts on the first 3 episodes of A Teacher from FX on Hulu. If you've checked it out, let me know what you think about it. Do you think they're handling this kind of material really well? Do you think that they're being too soft on it? Do you think they're being too hard on it? I'm really interested to see what people think. And if you're someone who has dealt with these type of things, how does it impact you? Because I do think that if you're watching this and you're someone who's been through this and been on the receiving end of something like this, that you might not feel like this is being handled really well, or I don't know. It's hard to speak on those type of things, but I'm interested to see what your opinions are in the comments below. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.